Hi guys, it's me again, Delicious Delights. Welcome to my channel. So today I want to talk about a fragrance that is a dupe of one of my all-time favorite perfumes. Anyway, so yeah, I want to talk about a dupe fragrance, one of my all-time favorites that I just recently got and unboxed for you guys. This, the fragrance that this is a dupe of is Spiritueuse Double Vanille by Guerlain, and I just made a video on this unboxing it, so I can link that for you guys in the description box. But anyways, today I want to talk about this fragrance, Eau Des Missions. It's a gigantic bottle of it. This is 250 mils. So I guess I'll be doing a little bit of a comparison, talking a little bit about both, and do I think it smells like SDV? Is it worth it? And just my overall thoughts about both fragrances. So let's first begin with SDV. So here is the bottle. It's absolutely gorgeous, you guys. I have been wanting this bottle for a long time. I was wearing samples and decants and also my travel size of it here. Finally got the bottle. I'm super excited about it still. So SDV, I'm just gonna grab a test strip here. Okay. Oh, you guys. Every single time I smell SDV, I like fall in love with it, literally. So SDV, to me, on my skin, it opens as a very woody vanilla, where the woods in here, the cedar, is the most prominent on me, only in the opening. It's also quite a syrupy vanilla, and it kind of reminds me a little bit of, if you can imagine, a vanilla liqueur inside of an old oak barrel. That's what I get in the opening. It is absolutely stunning, you guys. I really love the opening of this fragrance. And just that whole thing kind of being like a boozy vanilla in an oak barrel that's been in there for a very long time. That's what the opening smells on me, is freaking amazing. Very memorable opening. Probably one of the best openings for a vanilla perfume, or even of all time. The opening to me of Spiritueuse Double Vanille blows me away. So that's the opening. In the mid of SDV, it changes beautifully. The transitions in here are seamless. They just feel like super smooth. So the mid of this fragrance to me smells like a very clean vanilla scent, an incensey kind of clean. Like literally the best smelling incense perfume or incense that I've ever smelled in perfume. One that comes close is the Velvet Incenso by Dolce & Gabbana, their private collection. Is that what it's called? Yeah, Velvet Incenso. That's amazing too. Reviewed it. I can link that down as well. But this one is slightly better. But it's a clean incense vanilla, where the incense is in the background, and at the forefront I smell this beautiful, almost like a black tea, infused with a lot of vanilla beans. And so from this black tea, I'm getting a little bit of that smoky kind of character in here. So, you guys, the mid is just as amazing as the opening. And finally, the dry down of Spiritueuse Double Vanille. I finally get some benzoin, like a syrupy, honey-like texture, where if you can imagine, and I say this all the time when I say honey in reviews, but if you can imagine like pouring a hot honey into like a warm or a hot glass, a hot water, hot hot cup of tea or a mug of tea. That's what I smell. So it's very, very syrupy, vanilla, really, really thick, rich vanilla bean smell, kind of like a hot tea, kind of giving a little bit of a smoky feel into it. And in the background, a very beautiful incense, but the incense in the dry down isn't as prominent as it was in the mid. So SDV is a very expensive fragrance. It gives me just this really nice, beautiful, warm feeling, very cozy, very sexy, complex. The transitions from the opening, mid, and dry down, they kind of like tell a story, to me anyways, and I just love how that this fragrance just does that almost effortlessly, even though it's not. It feels super luxurious. And I think this is like really, if I were to choose like a date night perfume, SDV would be up there for sure. I should probably do a video on like my favorite date night perfumes. Even though I'm married, I could still choose fragrances that I think would be good for like a first date. Okay, so that's Spiritueuse Double Vanille. It is definitely a masterpiece in my opinion. One of the best, if not the best, vanilla perfumes out there. Just a complete masterpiece and so beautiful. So now let's talk about Eau Des Missions here. This huge honking bottle of it. I used to have like literally 1.5 liters of it. I had like the 500 ml bottle of this, and then I loved it so much I bought two backups of it. And for some reason back then I didn't wear them at all, like barely. I'm not really sure why. And I don't know, I just, you know, sometimes when you buy something and then you just find yourself not wearing it, so you decide to get rid of it only to regret it later on. That's what happened with this one. Like I said, I owned like 3 big 500 ml bottles of this. I think I also had another 250 ml of it. Got rid of them all because I thought it was a bit excessive, but got it back because Andrew gave me this bottle because this is his backup bottle. He has another smaller bottle of this, and he actually doesn't like it so much. But anyways, Eau Des Missions. Let me just spray it on here. And thanks to Andrew, I know you're watching, for giving this to me. Okay, so I'm not sure if this fragrance is still around in production. Like when I saw it last, it was like probably last year. TK Maxx, it was like 15 euros or 20 euros for a big bottle like this. But I have no idea if they're still available, if it's discontinued or anything like that. So if you guys have any info on that, let us know in the comments. So Eau Des Missions. Eau Des Missions has notes of benzoin, Virginia cedar, vanilla, of course, myrrh, camellia, and something called Centella asiatica, which, if I'm not mistaken, is like a green note, but I don't know much more about that. Released in 2011. The SDV was released in 2007. So on my skin, this one smells like a really, really, in the opening, it smells like a very dry vanilla. This one to me smells like a very thin vanilla scent. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm imagining like a thin sheet, like a thin bed sheet of a vanilla scent, whereas the SDV, it feels like this kind of fragrance is so warm and cozy, and it feels that way on your skin, like a warm blanket. Like if this was like a warm, like comfort down blanket, Eau Des Missions to me would be like a thin sheet of it. Not really keeping you warm, but still functional, still smells really nice, you guys. It's a very, in the beginning, it's a very simple, straightforward, dry vanilla scent. This does really get a lot more interesting as this fragrance dries on my skin in particular. Yeah, it does get a lot more interesting. It dries down to yes, definitely still a vanilla scent, obviously, but it has a bit of a softer feeling to it. And also, I also get some woodiness in here that comes out in the mid, and like an underlying smoky smell. It's not overly sweet of a vanilla, but more so in the dry down, it starts becoming more powdery. So that was a lot of things. So it's basically like a slightly powdery vanilla scent, very soft, some woodiness, and a hint of smoke. And that's what the vanilla, Eau Des Missions smells like to me. It still smells really nice. Yeah, I like the smell in here, but I don't know, you guys. I just can't help but compare it to this. And I know that, of course, there's a really, really big price between the two, price difference. Well, maybe not now if this is discontinued. Maybe it's expensive on eBay. But I just feel like the SDV is just more complex, and it takes you on that journey of, you know, from the beginning, mid, and dry down. I think all of those stages in the perfume is just what really makes the perfume. It really just feels really, really rich and luxurious and expensive. Eau Des Missions kind of feels like a glimpse of what SDV really is. It's really hard to explain. Do I think they smell the same? In the opening, they're completely different to me, but they kind of smell sort of similar, only in the dry down on my skin. But even then, you can smell differences between the two, but just for the most part, that's where I think that they smell the most similar, only in the way, way, way dry down. The Eau Des Missions on my skin doesn't last at all, you guys. It is a skin scent almost immediately after I apply it, and I don't get any projection at all with Eau Des Missions. It lasts about an hour on my skin and then it disappears. But it does smell amazing, you guys. Like, for the price, whatever, well, when I did see it, it was like 15-20 euros. The price for this is an absolute no-brainer if you're looking for a really, really, really nice smelling vanilla scent, simple, straightforward, and beautiful. But you may have some issues with longevity and projection. It just does not last at all, but it smells good. So if you don't mind lighter scents, if you don't mind reapplying often, then this is definitely a good deal for sure. It smells really, really, really nice. But of course, I think for me, I enjoyed this one more, obviously. There's just something more special about it. It feels like they use better ingredients, obviously. But they just feels well put together. It just feels more luxurious. It feels warm and cozy. You get that really nice texture of a warm vanilla blanket and a hot cup of tea, and it just puts me in a certain kind of mood. Whereas this one doesn't really put me in any mood whatsoever. It just smells good. That doesn't last very long, and pretty much an intimate skin scent. Do I think it's worth it? Yes, for sure. For sure. I'm definitely not going to get rid of this one ever, because I think it's good. But, you know, I always will choose to wear the SDV. I'm starting to use this a lot more often now, now that I have a bottle. But I if I had to choose and if money wasn't an issue, SDV is better, but this is a good alternative, I think. And now I'm just feeling like I'm blabbing now. So anyways, that was my video, my thoughts on Eau Des Missions versus Spiritueuse Double Vanille. I'd love to hear your thoughts on both of them. What you think of it. Do you think it's worth it? Do you think this is a waste of money? Do you think that this is a better value? Like whatever you want to talk about with these two fragrances, please let me know. I'd love to hear it. And I will be back with more videos soon. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.